This is a quote that I said. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better. This is so embarrassing. I've got the worst memory in the world. I'm nervous. Oh, there we go. Keep you safe. Oh, this is a simple one. This is from Warm Bodies. And that was kind of the main motto of my character was just keep you safe.
Keep you safe.
I didn't have a lot of dialogue in that movie, which was kind of a brilliant thing. Whenever I'd look at the scenes to be like, oh, I've got to prep for tomorrow on different projects, you'd be like, I've got so much dialogue to learn. Oh, no, how am I going to do it? On Warm Bodies, I'd look at the scenes and I'd be like, grunt, keep you safe, got it. That was basically it. And then voiceover. So it was very easy to learn the dialogue for that movie. Keep you safe. He looked up at me with this delighted look and said, pussy. This is from The Great.
He looked up at me with this delighted look and said,
What was it? Pussy.
This show has probably all of my favourite dialogue I've ever delivered because Tony McNamara is just a wonderful writer, and it was dialogue that you'll never get to say in anything else ever. And this is a scene where he's become this doting father. Elle Fanning's character, Catherine, is kind of not taking to motherhood so well. She's more concerned with matters of state and running the country, whereas Peter has become completely content to be a stay-at-home father and not be emperor anymore. And he bursts into an important meeting that she's doing or something, and he's so pleased with the fact that Paul has said his first word, and she's so upset and annoyed and disappointed because she realizes that she's raising a son probably to be like the father. But yeah, very funny. Do you say shallots or shallots? Shallots. I should know this. This is my line. Shallots. I think this is why I struggled with it, because I was like, I can't remember. I think I mispronounce it even in English. I'm not a great foodie, and there was lots of things. This is from the menu, right?
shallots.
There were lots of things that I was sitting there and I'd be like, I don't know what this is. Amuse-bouche. I didn't know what amuse-bouche was. And I remember one day this was really silly of me, somebody on set one day being like, oh, cacio e pepe. And I was like, what is that? And they were like, cheese and pepper pasta. And I was like, oh, fantastic. Thank you. Oh, okay, I know this one. There is a devil in this world and I have met him. And that is from Nosferatu. There is a devil in this world and I have met him. I played Thomas Hutter, and this is a scene that I have with Lily Rose Depp, where my character, you know, at the beginning of the film, he's quite naive. Lily obviously feels like her character, she feels like she has this darkness inside of her and is aware of this darkness in the world. And I think Thomas is someone who is kind of unaware and naive in terms of that inside of himself and of it in the world. And I think that's what the film explores really beautifully. And Robert Eggers, the director, does fantastically with this modern imagining of this story. And this is in a scene when Thomas has been to visit Count Orlok and he's kind of experienced these horrors and this evil, and he knows what's coming and the terror that's coming for everyone in their city. So he's trying to convince Ellen to leave. He is aware that there is evil and a devil and all these horrible things out there, and he's trying to protect her from that. Oh, okay. Hey, fuck you. I got hit by a fucking bus. That fucks you up. Well, I've only been hit by a bus on one thing. Not true. I've been hit by a bus twice. But this must be from Skins.
Hey, fuck you. I got hit by a fucking bus. That fucks you up.
I played Tony Stoneham in Skins when I was 16, 17. A great show, like such a wonderful cast, and still a lot of the people from that show are some of my best friends. So I feel lucky to have been a part of it, because also it was kind of quite progressive. I think at the time, for what a teen drama could be, it really pushed the boundaries and set a new tone and idea about that for people. My character in that got hit by a bus, but I got actually hit by a bus filming a TV show called Keen Eddie. My character was meant to be getting bullied, and he got pulled out of bed in the middle of the night from his boarding school, tied to a chair in his boxers, and then hung from a bridge. And this double-decker bus was meant to drive towards me and stop. And the brakes locked up on the bus whilst we were doing this stunt, and the bus didn't stop. There was an old route master, like the red London buses. And I saw it and I was like, I'm sitting there just hanging in this chair with my arms tied and everything in my boxers. And then this bus is coming, and I'm like, that's not gonna stop, it's still going. So I put my foot out, and you know where they've got the number on the bus, like the 23 or whatever. I put my foot out and it went through the glass of the bus, and then the bus did stop, but it hit into my leg and the glass broke, and then it pushed me back, and I was just penduluming, hitting against the bus. And then I remember hearing my mum being like, get him down, get him down. And everyone was like, this is terrible. We just hit that kid with a bus. Thank you. Witness. Witness is from Mad Max Fury Road.
Witness!
This is when Nux believes that he's about to go to Valhalla and die in battle and reach his peak goal in life, I suppose. This is something that just before these war boys would commit suicide and do this, they would spray silver paint on their teeth and then jump into whatever fireball or destiny they were choosing for themselves, which is occasionally something that people still will say to me. Obviously, the environment of that set was so intense and loud, and the smell of petrol. And I remember, like, all the engines would start up on the cars, and the hairs on my arm would stand up. And suddenly, it was very intense and easy to get into that state. Plus, we had an incredible stunt team, and all the cast playing the war boys and all that. That everyone would be so hyped up. Okay, I've got a couple of them now. After all, what is language for? I would imagine this is from Tolkien. Yes? After all, what is language for? It's not just the naming of things, is it? It's the lifeblood of a culture. The poignancy of this conversation is because the war has just been announced and you're seeing all these people all these young boys kind of celebrating the idea of going to war. Some celebrating, some thinking that it's going to be a great adventure, and others realizing the horror of what could be about to come. And obviously that was something that influenced Tolkien's writing hugely. I mean, I reread The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and then just as a bit of a fun thing for me, I went back and watched the movies as well, because I was like, it doesn't hurt. It's research technically, and I love the movies, so. I actually remember thinking he really, really means it this time. Is it from About a Boy? No. This is so embarrassing. I've got the worst memory in the world. Oh, it's from Renfield. Okay. I actually remember thinking he really, really means it this time. Nicolas Cage, who plays Dracula in the movie, said that he's going to care for me or do something nice. And my character has been duped once again. He's such a fun actor to be in scenes with because the inspiration he brings, how he creates his characters, where he gets ideas from. He's a real cinephile and loves movies. And he's also bold in his performances. I love watching him. So to get a front row seat, to get to be in scenes with him and to play opposite that is magic. I had the best time with him. Okay, what have we got here? That's your problem. You're running out of time and you've got nothing to show for it. Okay, so this is Bob Matthews. This is from The Order.
That's your problem. You're running out of time and you've got nothing to show for it.
This kind of ideology that the Aryan nation is pushing, and they believe that they can gradually take over Congress and the White House and all these sorts of things, whereas Bob believes that the progress isn't happening fast enough. He's taking the reins, I suppose, and this is quite a scary line when you think about what he's planning and putting into motion. We would look through, learn about, where Bob grew up, where he moved with his family, how he would have talked, but then also we found real audio of Bob as well. And so I could listen to him. And I didn't want to do a complete impression of his voice, but it meant that the accurate sounds that were very specific to him, I could get. I'm doing pretty well now. I started off to a shaky start. The war is well, we should sue for peace. I think this is from The Great as well. No, the war is well, we should sue for peace. I have no idea. Oh, it's from The Favourite. The war is well, we should sue for peace. I just had a flash of being on set in my brain and throwing oranges at a naked man. And I was like, there's nothing sane about that movie. Emma, Rachel, and Olivia's performances in that movie are all so wonderful. And I think that's what's really interesting, the love triangle and the dynamic between all of them. And they're all equally insane and sane at times. And that's what's so great about the performances that Yorgos captures, is it's like, there's never one thing. You can love someone in one scene and he really investigates the good and bad and the grey of human nature. And that's what's wonderful about the movie. Yeah, I don't think anyone's completely sane. Watch yourself, show me what you're working with. Okay, this is an easy one. This is from About a Boy. This is when Marcus, my character, is walking down the hallway and he's listening to Mystical's rap album that he's just been gifted.
Shake but watch yourself. Shake your Show me what you're working with.
That was one of the first rap albums I ever listened to, and I did listen to that album quite a lot. I can't remember what the album's called, to that Mystical album, but I know a lot of the lyrics to it. And it's also something funny with my older son at the moment. He started wearing over-ear headphones when we're on flights and stuff, and he can't control his volume when he's got them on, so he shouts so loud across a plane to me and stuff. He's not listening to Mystical.